She frightens me dreadfully, but maybe she will know what to do, said the mermaid to herself, and with a determined toss of her head, she was on her way. No flowers bloomed along this path, nothing but bare, grey sand. Soon she felt the tug of a frothing, foaming whirlpool, where the water whizzed like a mill wheel, dragging all in its path down to the abyss below. Strongly she fought against its steady pull until she was well clear. Then she found herself in a boiling, slimy bog, and beyond a wood of trees rose from the ground like 100-headed serpents. With slimy branches and worm-like fingers, whatever they seized was caught fast and forever. Drowned sailors' skulls grinned at her from the murky depths, and the little mermaid's heart pounded with fear. Fastening up her long waving hair, she swam swifter than a gliding fish and passed safely through the clutching branches. There was the sea witch's house. It was built from bones salvaged from shipwrecks, and there sat the witch, stroking a toad as fat, slimy snails crawled over her shoulder. "I know what you want," she said, narrowing her eyes at the little princess. "Your wish is foolish and bound to bring you unhappiness, but it could be granted. You wish to get rid of your tail and grow 2 stilts to walk upon, so that a young prince may fall in love with you and your soul can live forever. Is that not so?" The witch cackled so wildly that her pet toad and snails fell from her lap. "I will mix you a potion, and when you swallow it, your tail will shrink away to form those things which men call legs. It will be very painful, and every step will feel as though you can walk on sharp knives. Can you endure all this suffering?" "Yes, I will do it," answered the princess in a trembling voice, as she thought of her dear prince and their life together. "But remember," said the sea witch, "never again will you be a mermaid, and you may never return to your home." The sea witch leaned closer and hissed in the mermaid's shell-like ear, "Unless you win the prince's love and become the centre of all his thoughts and wishes, you will never gain the soul you seek and live forever. If he should marry another, then the morning after his wedding day, your heart will break with sorrow, and you will die and become foam on the sea." "Still, I am willing," said the little mermaid, pale as death. "Then you must pay me for my trouble," hissed the witch, "and it is no small thing that I ask. You have the sweetest voice in all the sea. You must give it to me." "But if you take my voice," said the princess, "what shall I use to charm the prince?" "Your grace and beauty," replied the witch, "and your eloquent eyes. With gifts like these, it will be easy to win his heart." "Let it be so," whispered the princess, and so the witch began. The old sea witch scooped up a handful of snails. "Cleanliness is important," she remarked cheerfully, as she scrubbed the inside of her big black cauldron with the poor little creatures. Then the sea witch scratched her bosom and let the black blood trickle down into her cauldron. She added bladderwrack, spume, and other strange ingredients until smoke rose from the mixture and formed horrible shapes above the pot. At last the magic drink was ready. "Here it is!" cried the witch, handing her a bottle, and before the mermaid had time to think, the old crone leant over and cut her tongue from her head. Now the poor little princess could neither sing nor speak. Slowly she swam home, and this time the evil tree shrank back as she passed, clutching the glittering bottle in her hand. Soon she was back at the palace. It was very late, and all was dark and still. Without her tongue, the little mermaid could not bid her family farewell, and her heart felt ready to break. Waving goodbye again and again, she rose through the dark blue waters to the world above, and left her home forever. The sun had not yet risen when she arrived at the prince's palace. Wearily she pulled herself up onto the marble steps, and with one swallow she drank the strange potion. It ran through her body like a sharp knife, and with a cry, the mermaid fell down in a dead faint. When she awoke, she saw beside her the handsome young prince with the coal black eyes. "Who are you?" he asked.